Hey everybody, today is October 11th, 2023. I'm Gene, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Hanging with Uncle. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. We're really trying to grow our channel. And hit that like button so it kind of like helps spread the word out there, increases the viewership of our message. And hit that notification bell on the far right so you can be notified whenever we go live and put new content out. So having said that, I'm sorry, I kind of have a sore throat. I'm talking on a cough drop. But there's a lot of talk lately about the criminal indictments that are against Cadet Bone Spurs. Are they politically motivated, or are they motivated just on the point of pure accountability? So I've heard, oh, they've been going after Trump ever since he got in the big angle with all that Russia stuff and the Steele dossier. All right, time out. Having been undercover law enforcement officer, I've worked with confidential informants before, some more than others based on their credibility. Now, for someone to have wanted to use the Steele dossier for whatever reason, if those officers deemed that Mr. Steele was credible enough to believe that he had enough verifiable information in what he was presenting, then okay, maybe it's something we need to look at. So it turns out some of the stuff in the dossier was not true. And it also turns out that some of the stuff in the dossier was 100% right on factual. So take it for a grain of salt. Unless you've actually met Mr. Steele, worked with Mr. Steele, shut up. You have no knowledge of his credibility and what he brings to the table. So just shut up, because you have no idea what you're talking about. All right. Now, okay, what about the Mueller report and that investigation? Well, again, that was done by Jeff Sessions when he was Attorney General, and Jeff Sessions is a Republican appointed by Cadet Bone Spurs. So Democrats have not been the one going after Donald Trump from the very beginning, okay? And then I hear, okay, well, the Mueller investigation didn't say anything. It was just a report. He's exonerated. No, that's not true either. If you look in the first chapter, I want to say at least 10 Russians were criminally indicted. Now, of course, they're staying in Russia. They'll never come here and face accountability. Yevgeny Prigozhin being one of them. He's dead now because Putin took him out. But all these guys have been charged with crimes. So there have been violations proven by the Mueller report. Volume 2 lists at least 8 incidences where Cadet Bone Spurs was obstructing justice. I'm not going to read the statutes to you and all that, but he obstructed the investigation, the Mueller report investigation. And read it. I have. Again, I'm not going to bore you with it, but it's very interesting. And to say that he just wrote a report goes against what his appointment was established for. Number one, because Cadet Bone Spurs was the sitting president at the time, a memo from the Office of Legal Counsel, it's not even law, it's just a memo, says that the Justice Department will not prosecute a sitting president, which I think is bogus. But that's all the authority Mueller had to do. He could not write recommendations in there because then later it would look like there was a possibility or a potential for him putting his thumb on the scales of justice, saying, here's my report, and he committed this crime. When he wasn't a prosecutor, he was just a special counsel. And it would be up to a prosecutor to gather that evidence to present to 12 people beyond a reasonable doubt to get a criminal conviction. So just because that never happened, number one, does not mean he was exonerated. And number two, that entire Mueller investigation, the entire thing, was started by Republicans, by Jeff Sessions, when he appointed Rosenstein to be special counsel to oversee the Russia probe investigation. And Rosenstein appointed Robert Mueller as, the prosecutor, or the attorney, basically, could make recommendations to the DOJ. And, that again is why charges were filed against a lot of those Russians. So, no, that's false. So that's false. No one was out to get him as soon as he got in. Then Ukraine, with his quid pro quo, where he was indicted the first time, there was plenty of evidence, again, presented by the House in their presentation to the Senate, where he should have been convicted. But again, you had talk about a partial jury. I remember an interview with Rick Scott, a Republican from Florida, especially, saying he doesn't care what the evidence says. He's not going to vote to convict. He's going to protect Republicans' party line, which is what they did, because if you look, there wasn't enough evidence. Quid pro quo. Do this for me and I'll do that for you. That is against the law. You can't do it. Okay? So, because he broke the law, committed a crime, it's called accountability. That's why he was impeached. All right, he was accountable for committing this quid pro quo, trying to strong arm Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, who is needing certain resources at that time to help to anticipate the invasion of Russia into Ukraine. So again, that was just him blatantly, bold-faced, breaking the law in front of everyone with that phone call to Zelensky, and then sending Juliana and Parnas over to Ukraine trying to dig up dirt when there was none. Because remember, it was just say that there's corruption, or just say that you're looking into something. Now it gives the impropriety, which is why you don't do quid pro quos. You don't do this for me, tell this lie for me, so I'll have something to use on my campaign, to get reelected. Again, you can't, if your message isn't good enough, you got to resort to underhanded tactics, and he got caught. So nobody was out to get him. He openly, committed crimes and, was brought to the mat for it. Then we have January 6th, okay? Same thing. He was impeached while still in office. Impeachment was going on, and all the Senate had to do was vote to convict, and he would be ineligible to run for president right now. But they're too spineless and did not do their job. Remember, they were all witnesses. They were all victims to what happened on January 6th, because one of the charges filed is obstructing Congress in the official proceeding of their duties. The Electoral College vote, certifying the election, It doesn't get more official than that. So all these guys were victims and still voted to acquit. I just don't get it. That doesn't make sense to me. So now, because the Republicans in the Senate didn't convict, it's now up to the Justice Department to hold him accountable, and that's why we are where we are now. This has nothing to do with we've been out to get him from the very beginning. And I'll tell you something that right now, especially with these 4 criminal charges that are against him, every single one of them is not just against him, it's the whole organization. January 6th, he's being tried by himself, but there are unnamed co-conspirators that once the case with the Cadet Bone Spurs is done and adjudicated, you can believe that these other unnamed co-conspirators, unless they flipped, are going to have their day in front of a jury as well. Look at what's happening in Georgia. Fani Willis has 19 people that are being charged with crimes right now. So it's not just him, it's everybody that participated in the crime of trying to overturn a free and fair election. It is not just him, it is everybody. So to say they're just going after him and it's a political move is just some idiot, nonsensical talking points that have no weight, that make no sense, and are not based in fact. So that's just my opinion, why, again, registered as no party preference. I'm not picking a side here. These are the facts, what I see, and I can tell you from what I see and what I just presented to you, these crimes, these indictments are all based on accountability and not political assassination. He's doing that to himself. So that's just my opinion. If you have a difference of opinion, I'd like to hear about it. Leave it in the comment section below. That's all I have for tonight. Zane and I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Be nice to one another, be kind, and treat each other like you would like to be treated. All right, good night, everyone.